So, Havoc Squad. The best of the best. Can't say I'm thrilled about the demotion, but it's an honor to be here, sir.
How you holding up?
You mean after watching Tavis flush my career down the fresher? What do you think? 4 years at the academy, 7 years in the field, decorations, commendations. Would have been captain soon if command hadn't hung me out to dry.
Maybe if you'd been a little nicer.
My job was to keep soldiers alive, not pamper them. But hey, water under the bridge. Command put me in Havoc to help you find Tavis, and I intend to do just that. I've hunted Imperials from one side of the galaxy to the next. Used to command the Deadeyes, finest sniper squad in the Republic.
That's why I'm putting you in charge of the Wax Hands, my new boot polishing brigade.
So that's how it's gonna be. Fine. I've had worse assignments. I reviewed your service record before that ZR-57 op. Been meaning to discuss it with you. So you can kill Imperials, but that guerrilla mentality won't cut it in the big time.
Why were you looking through my record?
I like to know who I'm serving with, especially if they're giving orders. When I signed on with the Deadeyes, my CO was Lieutenant Vorn. Certified war hero, as decorated as they come. When he gave an order, we trusted it, followed it to the letter. A squad needs that kind of commitment to operate effectively.
You're saying you don't trust me?
I'm saying trust requires more than a slick new promotion. Havoc Squad is the Republic's most elite outfit. We tackle the missions no one else can handle. Traitor or no, Tavis is a tough act to follow. You think you're up to it?
My record speaks for itself.
I'll admit, you've seen and done more than most soldiers your age. You've got confidence and plenty of raw talent. Maybe you'll pull this off. You think Havoc will start shaping into an actual squad soon?
I hope so. Need to get some real soldiers in this unit.
I earned the Havoc stripes same as you. Once this unit starts growing, people's expectations of us, of you, are only gonna get bigger. That CO post could get real heavy, real quick.
Well, at least I get to boss you around.
I hope you're taking this seriously, sir. Commanding a squad is no cakewalk. Nothing worse than having to choose between the success of the mission and the lives of your men. A leader's gotta be ready to make those kinds of life or death decisions. There's no room for doubt.
When did Command put you in charge of Havoc? Oh, right. They didn't.
Real mature. Inventory report, sir. Food and medical supplies all look good, but our munitions are getting low. Thought we'd have enough to last us a year. Already requisitioned command for more. Guess I shouldn't be too surprised. See more action in one day with Havoc than you see in a month with the Deadeyes.
So what, you just sat around all the time?
Kind of. We mainly ran decapitation strikes. Neutralized enemy commanders before a Republic offensive. Left the opposition leaderless, disorganized. Sometimes, we'd camp outside the enemy's base for weeks, waiting for a clear shot. Eventually, we'd hit our target, pull out, let the ground pounders mop up.
You must have chalked up quite a kill count.
Over 24 confirmed. Eventually, I was offered a promotion and a post on Ord Mantell. I took it. Smart move career-wise. More men, more responsibility. But I wasn't interested in fighting separatists.
You'll complain about anything.
I enlisted for a lot of reasons. Killing Seps wasn't one of them. After my transfer, command of the Deadeyes fell to my XO, Torv. Smart kid. A little green, but the potential was there.
I'm sure they prefer him over the hard-nosed CO they used to have.
At least I got them home every mission. Can't expect much more from an officer. Come to think of it, I haven't been in contact with the Deadeyes for a while. I should find out where they're stationed. Catch up. Sir, you should know. General Vander contacted me. Said he'd talk it over with the brass and finagled a way to get me back on Ord Mantell. Offered me my old post, a promotion and command of their operations there. Pretty sweet deal overall.
Please tell me you said yes.
Afraid you're stuck with me. Fact is, I've been hitting the Empire harder than ever since I joined Havoc Squad. I didn't enlist to win medals or promotions. I enlisted to protect the Republic, to prove my people have a place here.
The Cathar will always have a place in the Republic.
I hope so.
We already lost one home to the Mandalorians. I'm not about to let the Empire take another.
Bad news, sir. I just received a dispatch from Command. It's my old sniper squad, the Deadeyes. They've been captured. Happened during a routine officer hunt. Somehow the imps got the drop on them and rounded up the entire unit. Careless.
First Tavis and the others go rogue, then the Deadeyes get captured. You're jinxed.
Right. Somehow it's all my fault. Look, something about this doesn't sit right with me. The Deadeyes' area of operation was on Nar Shaddaa. That's Hutt territory. Neutral ground. They shouldn't have had any business operating there.
What if the Deadeyes defected and their capture's just a cover-up?
I trained those men myself, sir. I need to know what happened to the Deadeyes, and if they're still alive. Missions on Nar Shaddaa are usually greenlit by the SIS. With your permission, I'd like to meet with them, see what they know.
Get a hold of Jonas Balker. He may be able to help us.
Your call. We'll rendezvous at the dive he hangs out in. With any luck, he'll have something for us.
You're early. Haven't even had time to order us up around. Not that I need a drink to enjoy your company.
The Deadeyes. Balker, what do you know?
Just because Jonas knows how to talk to a woman, it's no reason to get upset.
Sorry, sir. Just hoping to find the Deadeyes before the Imperials execute them.
Fine, fine. I dug up what info I could, but frankly, there isn't much to report. Far as I can tell, the Deadeyes tried to off some Imperial big shot. Things went south, and they got themselves captured.
What's the Republic doing to get the Deadeyes back?
Unfortunately, nothing. We're on the verge of an incident. The Imperials are out for blood, so the Republic is distancing itself from the operation. I shouldn't even be talking to you about all this. Those boys are on their own.
These are Republic soldiers, sir. Good men. All of them.
The Deadeyes knew what they were getting themselves into, Jorgan.
Doesn't mean we shouldn't do everything we can to bring them home.
Look, I know this stinks, but my hands are tied on this one. I've got major players breathing down my neck. Otherwise, I'd tell you to investigate that prison the Imperials set up in Shadowtown.
The Imperials have a facility besides the normal Shadowtown areas?
Keep it down. This isn't your usual cantina gossip. Now, rumor has it, and I'm just talking here, that the Imperials built themselves a makeshift prison not too far from here. That's where they dump any local riffraff that get out of line. Could be they took the Deadeyes there.
Thanks for the tip, Balker.
I'm just making conversation. Now, if you'll excuse me, I've got an alibi to work on. Remember, this meeting never happened.
Were you born an asshole, or did you work at it your whole life?
I'm not seeing them anywhere. Let's check out the central computer. No sign of them here. Belker must have sent us on a wild... Wait. I may have something. It's an outgoing holo message. Recent.
This is Captain Titch, confirming the details for outgoing prisoner transfer 993B. We've got 3 Gomorian trespassers, a couple of spice peddlers, and our catch of the day, the legendary Deadeyes.
All that work just to find out they're not even here?
It'll be worth it if we can figure out where the Imperials shipped them off to.
As per protocol, we've split the Deadeyes up and transferred them to off-world labor camps. I've encrypted the coordinates for their designated camps into this transmission. Those scum can spend their remaining years working off their debt.
Message ends there. Guess the imps don't make things quick for their POWs. Lucky us.
I'd be more grateful if the Deadeyes were still here.
We'll just have to settle for swiping these coordinates. The encryption here is good. Too good. I can't crack it. Looks like we may need Balker's services again.
Off the hollow with a very angry Imperial diplomat. Apparently, some Republic troopers broke into the Imperial Detention Center.
Hey, I just went to Hari's for a drink. They got a new waitress there. Real looker.
Don't get cute with me, Balker. You know something.
If you're looking for the mastermind behind the raid, he's right here.
Ah, yes. Sergeant Jorgan. The original Deadeye himself. Outstanding work on Ord Mantell.
How did you know?
Senior Agent Zane, SIS. That little stunt you pulled ruined any chance we had of negotiating the Deadeye's safe return.
Check your facts, Zane. The Imperials already shipped them off-world.
It's Senior Agent Zane, thank you. And storming an Imperial facility, guns blazing, it makes things worse. Your involvement ends now. Clear?
Fully understood.
So you can follow orders. Now, if you'll excuse me, I've got an Imperial ambassador to mollify. I trust you'll see yourselves off my planet.
What were you thinking coming back here? I told you I couldn't be connected to any of this.
We found some encrypted coordinates in the prison central computer. We think they'll tell us where the Deadeyes are.
We were gonna see if you could help us, but after that outburst...
Yeah, I'd rather keep my job, thanks. Look, a friend in Signal Intelligence owes me a favor. I'll put you in contact with him. He may be able to make something of those coordinates. It's the best I can do.
We couldn't have done this without Balker. I think you owe him your thanks.
Fine. Balker. Thanks.
Hey, anything for you, Jorgan.
I'll connect with Balker's contact once we get back to the ship. I'll report if I hear anything.
Got a problem, sir. Weapons malfunction. I had a couple of misfires during that prison run. I think the barrel might be out of whack. Not surprising given all the action we've seen. With your permission, I'd like to inspect the rest of the squad's ordnance, make sure everything's up to code.
You don't need to bother me with every little detail.
Weapons maintenance is serious business. When you're sniping enemies from 800 meters, any imperfection in the blaster can ruin your shot.
I get it, you're an amazing shot. Now go clean those guns.
Right. Permission to speak freely, sir.
This should be good.
Dorn's a fine soldier, but... Come on. We both know that exo position had my name all over it. Why would you sabotage my career even further? Is it personal? Or did you just forget that I used to be a lieutenant?
The operative words being used to.
Still won't let it go, huh? Fine. You can't see officer material when it's right in front of you, that's your business. Sir. Well, the search is officially underway. I transmitted those coordinates we picked up to Balkar's contact in Sigint. Won't be long before we find out where the Deadeyes are. Well, look at that. That you, Gav?
You know, you really ought to start encrypting your communications. Finding your frequency was child's play.
Your contact looks just like that nosy agent we met before. Weird.
Enough games. I'll just leave you with a friendly suggestion. Walk away.
That smug. Why is he so interested in the Deadeyes? In any case, he knows about Balkar's contact at Sigint. He'll have to find someone else to decrypt those coordinates.
Do what you have to do. Just don't bother me with it.
Fine. I'll handle it. Still no word on the Deadeyes' location. Can't find a slasher good enough to decrypt those coordinates we found. This is taking too long. For all we know, the Imperials have relocated the Deadeyes. That intel could be obsolete.
We don't even know if the Deadeyes are still alive.
Way to keep up morale. I'll keep monitoring the Hollow. Maybe something will turn up. Finally heard back from my sources. They got the first part of those coordinates decoded. The data points to an Imperial evacuation site on Tatooine. Looks like my former XO, Torv, is being held there.
Zane made it pretty clear he doesn't want us interfering.
You'd let good men die just because some spook says so? A real soldier would never leave a comrade behind. But it's your call, sir.
Either way, it worked out fine. 'Cause you're an asshole tonight. Yes, you're an A-S-S-H-O-L-E. And don't you try.
On your feet, soldiers.
Lieutenant Jorgan? What are you doing here?
It's Sergeant now. Don't ask. And I'm getting you out of here.
Thought we'd have been out of here weeks ago. Who's this?
I'm the commander of Havoc Squad.
Havoc Squad? It's an honor, sir.
Okay, enough boot kissing. I want answers, Torv. For starters, how'd you get yourselves captured?
It's all there in our mission outline. Didn't Zane brief you?
Zane? As in Senior Agent Zane? Man's been nothing but trouble for us.
So he didn't... Oh. Then I'm afraid I can't say anything more. SIS orders.
What kind of ungrateful second-rate unit did you put together here?
Out with it, soldier. We're not leaving until we get some answers.
But we... Okay, look, we let ourselves get caught. Part of some top-secret SIS op. They implanted tracking devices in us. Plan was to follow us through Imperial space, find out where the imps ship their POWs, and then come rescue us.
It looks like someone forgot to follow through with that last part.
Nobody anticipated the imps would split us up, send us to labor details. Surprised the SIS didn't spring us then.
Typical SIS. Should have known better than to trust those spooks.
Too good an opportunity. You know how many troops we have in those camps.
What if the Imperials had executed you?
Torv here is as green as you said.
You said that?
I also said you had potential. I'm sure I've done the same thing in your shoes, Torv. We'll have it out with the SIS later. For now, just sit tight. I'll call for an evac, get you boys home. Well, they're off. The SIS better have a good reason for leaving those men behind.
Zane is involved. Maybe he wants to enlighten us.
I'm sure he'll have something to say about this rescue op of ours. Anyway, we've done all we can for now. I'll see about getting the rest of those coordinates decrypted.
I ever tell you about the time we were ordered to take out Moff Dallam? Dangerous mark. Wily is that... Hang on. Incoming transmission. Care to guess who it is?
Major, Senior Agent Zane here. Apparently, I didn't make myself clear earlier. Or perhaps you thought an unauthorized rescue mission wouldn't constitute as interfering?
I got other Deadeyes to rescue, so if you don't mind.
This'll only take a moment. I understand your concern for your comrades, but you morons are only complicating things.
You're addressing the commander of Havoc Squad, Zane. You will show her the proper respect.
Apologies, but this is a delicate operation and your continued involvement will only jeopardize its completion.
We could have worked together if you'd kept us in the loop.
I would have if this had been any of your business.
Your operation's falling apart, Zane. Now either rescue the Deadeyes yourself, or get out of the way.
I don't take orders from grunts. This mission is over when I say it is.
I've had it with this guy. Permission to cut him off, sir.
Stay out of this.
No more warnings. I so much as smell you again and I'll deal with you, personally.
I can't tell if he really dropped the ball on this one, or if he's still just lying to us. Either way, the SIS had their chance. Time for Havoc Squad to get the job done right. I may have been wrong about you. Takes a lot to lead a squad like Havoc. Wasn't convinced you had it in you. Thought you were inexperienced, untested. But you've got good instincts. Turned out to be a first-class leader.
Wait, let me record this. I need proof.
Let's not make a big deal out of this. I'll admit, that business on Ord Mantell still irks me. But it landed me in the most elite squad in the Republic, under one of the finest commanders I've served with. So I can't complain too much. Just got off the holo with Torv. He asked me to thank you for getting him out of that labor camp. He's starting to see the danger the other Deadeyes are in. Anxious for us to find them.
You ought to be demoted for taking on a dangerous mission like that.
As opposed to taking them on a safe mission? We're not getting paid to deliver cookies here. It was a mistake to trust a snake like Zane, but Torv's heart was in the right place. I just hope this mistake doesn't get any of those men killed. Outstanding news, sir. We've got a positive fix on the Deadeye's location. Took them long enough, but my sources finally got the rest of those coordinates decrypted. The data points to an Imperial outpost on Hoth. Another labor camp, most likely.
First Tatooine, now Hoth. The Imperials must really have it out for the Deadeyes.
Picking off a few dozen Imperial officers will do that. Once we get those men out of there, we can put all this craziness behind us. I just hope we're not too late.
Blame it on me. You deserve all the credit. You're an asshole tonight. You were an asshole yesterday. You're an asshole tonight. I've got a feeling you'll be an asshole the rest of your life.
Barracks. Hal. You two still breathing?
More or less. Didn't expect to see you here, sir.
Nor I. Care to tell me what you two are doing here?
What are you doing here?
My job. Don't you get it? This operation was never about rescuing POWs. We've been after one thing, Dusk 9.
Impossible. That place is just a myth.
Is it? We'll never know now, thanks to you two.
If that's true, then you lied to the Deadeyes about their mission's real objective.
Of course. We could hardly expect a bunch of grunts to keep their mouths shut. Next to the Emperor's location, Dusk 9 is the Empire's best-kept secret. Hundreds of Black Ops projects are born there.
It's also a prison, according to the rumors. The things that supposedly go on there, too horrible to be real.
We're more interested in the intel hoarded there. We seeded thousands of bugged soldiers into the Imperial penal system, hoping for a bite.
That still doesn't explain what you're doing here.
After many failed attempts to get one of our soldiers into Dusk 9, I had an epiphany. We were using the wrong bait. The brass at Dusk 9 weren't interested in common soldiers. But how could they resist an SIS agent? So, I bugged myself, staged a bogus rescue operation, and let myself be captured. I was awaiting transfer when you two geniuses showed up.
You can still go on with your mission.
You don't think the Imperials will be just a teensy bit suspicious that you rescued the Deadeyes, yet conveniently left me behind? Now, I have no choice but to abort my mission and try again somewhere else.
Sir, we can deal with Zane later. Let's just find the rest of the squad and get out of here.
Jorgan, sir, they're dead. The cold, they didn't make it.
What? Trace? Copland? They're gone? But I thought... Zane.
We don't have time for this. Double time it, soldier.
Stay out of this, sir. You killed them. You promised them a rescue that never came, and now they're dead for it. How many other soldiers have died for you? Huh? 100? 1,000?
You can't kill me, Jorgan. Too many witnesses.
As far as we're concerned, sir, the Imperials killed him.
What? Wait, you can't just... Major, do something!
Holster that weapon, soldier, before I have you thrown in the brig.
Fine. He's not worth it anyway.
Much obliged. As for you, you think you can pull a blaster on me and walk away? I'll see you in prison for that.
You'll have every soldier in the Republic gunning for you if this gets out.
Right. Consider my lips sealed.
Let's get these men back to their squad. I'll call for an evac. They're off, sir. Mission accomplished.
You were out of line back there.
I know. Honestly, I'd rather not talk about it right now, sir. Let's just get out of here.
Sir, I'd like to apologize for my behavior earlier. When I heard about Trace and Copland, I just lost it. Would have done something stupid if you hadn't stopped me.
Your conduct was unacceptable, soldier.
It won't happen again, sir. I'd have been no better than Zane if I pulled that trigger. I'd just be another thug doing whatever it took to get his way.
Still, would have felt good to smack him around a bit.
Yeah, it would have. There's always going to be men like Zane calling the shots in the Republic. Can't kill all of them. Better to work with the system than against it.
That beats killing arrogant SIS agents.
Just barely. Don't know that I'll ever trust the brass again. But I trust you, sir. You kept me from making the biggest mistake of my life. I won't forget that. Whatever happens, just know that I'll always have your back, sir. I'm a Havoc man to the end. You can count on me to train any recruits we might get. Give me a couple days, I can show any rookie how to handle a rifle properly.